Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how I made this cute hot red patent leather crossbody bag. I'll be going over the body as well as how to make the straps and how to set rivets. So stay tuned as we go over all the things you'll need. So what I'll be using are rivets, a rivet tool, a hammer, a rotary cutter, a hole puncher, scissors, screw-in metal spikes, swivel snap hooks, a press lock, D-rings, slide buckles, 4 Chicago screws, measuring tape and a ruler, clips, pins, a Sharpie and a poster board to create your pattern, and this beautiful patent leather material. The first thing you're going to do is trace out your pattern onto your cardboard. And instead of showing you step by step, I decided to show you what I've already created and pretty much show you the measurements because it's super easy. So on the side, you'll start with measuring 14 inches. After you measure 14 inches, you're gonna mark at the 6 and the 8 inch. You're gonna come from those spots and you're gonna measure 1.5 inches. And you'll do this again at the 8 inch mark, 1.5 inches. After you've done that, you'll come to the top here and you'll measure another 1.5 inches. From that point, you'll go up and it'll be 4.5 inches from this point up. Across the top, which this is gonna plate our strap, this is gonna be 7 inches. Then you're gonna come back down and measure the exact same thing as on this side. This point right here being 1.5 inches. This complete side will measure up to 14 inches. And then you'll also mark again at the 6 and the 8 inch. You're gonna come back in, marking 1.5 inch at the 6 inch mark, and then again at the 8 inch mark, you'll have another 1.5 inch. So altogether, these parts should equal 6 inches. This part here should equal 2 inches. This part should equal 6 inches. 4.5 inches, 7 inches, 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, and so on and so forth. At the bottom, it's gonna equal almost 10 inches. It'll be just a little smaller than 10 inches. We're gonna mark at every 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch there. So now we have perfectly spaced markings where we're going to put our holes. This will be the body of the purse. The next pattern piece we'll be making are the purse straps. And so this is what mine looks like. And it measures 22 inches this way and then 1/2 inch this way. You got 22, and my ruler only goes to 18 inches, but as you can see, it's 18 right here, and you have 4 more inches. So 22 down this way, and then 1/2 inch going right here. What you'll do is be cutting this out 2 times, but you only need 1 pattern for this size, and this again will be our purse straps. The next pattern piece we'll be cutting out are the side straps that will be connected to the body of the purse. And they're actually going to be holding our D-rings like this. This strap measures at 3.5 inches long. So you'll have 3.5 inches this way, and then you'll have 1/2 inch going this way. So 3.5 inches and 1/2 inch. And because this will be going on both sides of the purse, we'll be cutting this out twice as well. We're gonna go ahead and mark the holes for this as well. We have our strap, we have our body, and we have our D-ring strap. So next, I'm going to go ahead and turn my material on the wrong side. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut out my pieces. You wanna make sure you have enough. And woof, I have more than enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these pieces. And I'm gonna be using my infamous Rotary Cutter for precision and my metal ruler. So what I'm gonna do is pretty much do it like this. And use my ruler to control where this rotary cutter is going. And y'all, I'm about to get to work. All right, so I have successfully cut out all of the pattern pieces. I have my side straps here, the main straps here, and then the body of the purse. All right, so for the next part, I'm gonna be taking the pattern for the body piece as well as the fabric for the body piece, and I'm gonna be clipping them together. What I'm actually going to do is slit this part into the fabric because this is actually going to play the bottom of the purse. All right, so now we're about to get started with punching the holes. So we want this to be perfect. We want our holes to be like straight. So we're gonna take our pattern of the body, and right where we mark those spots, I'm just gonna draw a straight line parallel to the edge. Boom. And we're gonna take our pin and poke holes first. So I have my pattern and I got my fabric here. And I'm gonna line it up. And I'm gonna use my clips to make sure it doesn't move. All right, and right at each of these, I'm gonna poke it right on the line. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So after you've poked all of your holes, we're gonna fold this together now. And depending on which material you use, some of your holes may be big, some may be small, but for me, I'm using patent leather, so my holes came out really small. I don't think you'd be able to see them on camera. But this is my inside flap, and this is gonna be my second inside flap, and it's gonna be my outside flap. The reason why I like to use this top layer as my outside flap is because the back of it is gonna be facing the back. All right, so you pin it together with this in the inside, this part here on the inside. You may have to do a little finessing to get it to line up perfectly. But what I would do is I would just make sure it lines up pretty straight. And then you're gonna take your clip and pin it together. And then do the top part. Right now, after you have it all pinned up, you're just gonna go through wherever your holes are and poke through each of the layers. You should have six little dots here. Just go through each of the layers, poking your pin through all 3 layers, and the one to the bottom. All right. After you have each of the layers poked by the pin, now it's time to punch holes in it. And I'm gonna be using this hole puncher. You can find this at any craft store or online or something like that. But oh my gosh, these things are awesome. Now, the metal studs I use are pretty small, but I want to do the smallest one to make sure they're kind of snug, you know, once I put them through. Alright, so now it's time to hole punch. All of our holes, everything that we're gonna be hole punching is hole punched. Next, we're gonna go ahead and hole punch our two little 3.5 inch straps that are gonna go on our side. We're gonna go ahead and hole punch those as well. So we already have these marked here. Line them up. Alright, so after I poke my two holes here, I'm going to go ahead and fold it because that's the way it's going to be anyways. And I'm going to clip it. And then I'm just going to poke holes now on this. Is that for the bottom of the purse, we're actually going to be using Chicago screws as well as for one of the holes on our side strap. So what you're going to do is after you've poked your holes, come back to the bottom hole and I'm going to make a bigger hole for that one. So now we have everything hole punch and it's time to put it together using our metal spikes. Alright, the reason we're using Chicago screws for the bottom is because with 3 layers, it's very thick. And so it's too thick actually to fit on the spike screw. So we're gonna have to use bigger screws, and these are called Chicago screws. Another thing is that we needed bigger holes because the Chicago screws are way bigger. So to put these through, we're gonna have to, we need a lot of space. So with these, you can actually start from our outside. To our second layer, and then to our inside layer, which you probably won't be able to see. But you just feel for the hole and stick them all through. And then with the Chicago screw, you just put this on the inside. This is what it looks like on the inside. Alright, it's done on the inside. Just straighten it out a little bit. Alright, and we're gonna do our spike. Alright, and before we do this last one, we're going to come back over to the strap. And what it's going to look like, it's going to connect like this. So what we're going to have to do is, because it's 4 layers, we're going to need the Chicago screws this time. So I'm going to hole punch a bigger space. Now I'm only doing this on the bottom. On these bottom ones, these are going to stay the same because it's going to be a spike screw for that one. So I'm also going to come here and make bigger holes as well. Now we're going to connect the side piece to the D-ring. Line it up. And use our Chicago through to connect it. Alright, and then we can go ahead and put our last screw in, which is our spike screw for this piece. Now you should have something that looks like this. So now this is what we have. It should look something like this. And the reason why I didn't do the press lock is because it just falls. It just falls perfectly. If you want to do a press lock or something like that, you can. They have all types of things you can do to put a closure right here. It should look like this. Now it's time for the straps. Alright, so now I'm going to take the straps. And on both ends, I'm going to make them points here, so that way they fit through the metal pieces easier. you can do this with a pair of scissors. And you're gonna do that to all 4 edges, so they end up looking something like this. Now, we're going to be making purse straps. So what we're gonna be using is a slide buckle, a D-ring, rivets, and these are double cap rivets, and swivel snap hooks. The first thing we're going to do is set it into the slide hook. This is only going to require one of the straps that we cut. So what you're going to do is turn your material on the wrong side. Then you're going to take one of the ends and put it through the slide hook and bring it back down so it looks like this. See what I've done? All right, and next we are going to punch a hole right here so that way we can secure this end to this side of the strap. All right, next, after we have our hole, we're going to use our double cap rivet to secure this. To secure the rivet, I'm actually going to be using a rivet tool. The base, this part which has a curve on the inside in order to match the shape of the rivet. Then I have the rivet itself, as well as a hammer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my rivet through. I'm going to snap on the back. Alright, that's snapped on, and you can see it still stands up because it's not quite secure. But to secure it further, I'm going to place it into this curve. I'm going to place this on the top. Then I'm going to use my hammer to push this down to tightly secure the rivet and bring it into one tight piece. And then I'm going to use my hammer to push the rivet down to secure it tightly together. Alright, and as you can see, it's a lot tighter now. Alright, and so still having it with the wrong side facing up, I am going to go ahead and take this in and put it through my D-ring. Alright, so now I'm going to take it back through the slide. I'm going to push it up this way. And then I'm going to take this in and put it through the other side. All right, and this is how you put the fabric through a slide buckle. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put my swivel snap hook on this end. I'm going to be putting the swivel snap hook on this end. So I'll just take the hook, and it doesn't matter which way the hook is because it turns. So you just, I'm going to be flipping this on the wrong side, so the wrong side is facing up. I'm going to put this through the hook. And you guys can already guess what I'm going to do. I'm going to be punching a hole and placing a rivet here to secure this end to the strap. now that this part is secure, we're going to go ahead and put the other strap with this one. Take the end of the other strap and place it through the D-ring. You do want it to be facing the same side as this one. So since this side is, the right side is facing me, I'm going to make sure the right side is facing me as I put it through the D-ring. You put it through, and you can just check it and make sure everything is perfect. And I'm just going to put it through. I'm going to be securing it with another rivet again. This is the last hook. This is gonna go into the other swivel hook that we have. So now we have completed our strap. We have everything secured, and it's time to attach it to our purse.